Hello friends, this video on Matter and Magnetism Part 23 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till Part 22 before going ahead with Part 23. Now let us look at the concept of diamagnetism from electron theory's point of view. So we will now see the behavior, the diamagnetic materials behavior which I listed in the previous slides. Why does that occur? So now we already know that for any electron there are two magnetic moments associated with it. The first one is the orbital magnetic moment, which is because of the orbital motion of the electron. By virtue of this orbital motion of the electron around the nucleus, it has a magnetic moment, that is orbital magnetic moment, which we generally denote as mu m, right? Also, there is another magnetic moment associated with every electron by virtue of its spin. So mu L and mu S, these are the two magnetic moments associated with any electron. So we can say that the net magnetic moment for any electron is basically given by the orbital magnetic moment plus the spin magnetic moment. So the vector sum of these two magnetic moments will give you the net magnetic moment for any electron. So when we talk about a diamagnetic substance, what happens is that in a diamagnetic substance, this Ml and Ms, that is the orbital magnetic moment and spin magnetic moment, cancel each other for every atom. So as a result, the atom has no net magnetic moment. So what happens for a diamagnetic substance? The orbital magnetic moment and the spin magnetic moment, they cancel out. Therefore, the atom has no net magnetic moment. That is, the net magnetic moment becomes zero for every atom, right? So what we can say that, so that is why in a diamagnetic substance we say that each atom has zero net dipole moment. They do not have a net dipole moment. So what we can consider, therefore in this scenario we can consider that electron inside an atom is equivalent to two electrons moving with same angular velocity but in opposite sense. That means, what did we conclude? We conclude that in a diamagnetic substance, for each atom, the net magnetic moment is equal to zero. So now when we consider one atom, we can say that one atom has two electrons which are moving with same angular velocity but in opposite direction. So if there are two electrons moving with same velocity but in opposite direction, then the net magnetic moment will be zero, right? So let us assume that kind of scenario. So we can assume that electrons inside atom can be considered as equivalent to two electrons moving with same velocity in opposite sense, right? Somewhat like this. Let us suppose this is the nucleus and this is the electron. So let us suppose in one case the electron is moving in this direction and the other electron is moving in this direction, right? So we can assume that each atom consists of two electrons, both are moving with same angular velocity but in opposite direction. So in this case, what would be the magnetic force experienced by this electron? Now if the electron is moving in this direction, that means what is the direction of current flow? Electron is a negatively charged particle, right? So that means the current flow is in the opposite direction. So this would be the direction of current flow. Now, how do you determine the direction of force? Force would be given by Q into V cross B, right? Let us right now there is no magnetic field, right? So right now I am just imagining that in this case these two electrons moving with same angular velocity but in opposite sense. So net magnetic moment in this case is equal to zero. So this is the scenario as long as we have not applied any magnetic field. Now what will happen when I apply an external magnetic field? Actually, you forget about this force part right now, because right now I am not talking about magnetic field at all. I just talk about when no magnetic field is applied, what happens in a diamagnetic substance. In a diamagnetic substance, the orbital magnetic moment and the spin magnetic moment of each atom cancel out. Therefore, the net magnetic moment of each atom is equal to 0. Therefore, we can assume that inside each atom, there are 2 electrons which are moving with same angular velocity but in opposite sense. So, we conclude that in absence of magnetic field, net magnetic moment of each atom is 0. Now we will look at the scenario when we apply some magnetic field. What happens when we apply an external magnetic field? In that case, the scenario would be something like this. So, what did we assume till now? We said that, let us suppose this is the electron, this is the first electron, and this is the second electron, right? We have assumed that each atom consists of 2 electrons moving with same velocity in opposite sense, right? So in the first case, the electron is moving in this direction. That means the direction of current flow is this one. So the current is flowing in this direction. Similarly, here also the direction of current flow is this direction. Now, when a magnetic field is applied, we assume that a magnetic field is applied in the downward direction. Let us suppose we have applied a magnetic field in the downward direction. So what would be now due to this magnetic field, the moving charge will experience a force, right? So it will experience a magnetic force. So that magnetic force is given by Q into V cross B, right? So what would be the direction of the magnetic force? You apply the right hand rule. So by applying the right hand rule, we can say that in this case, this is the direction of magnetic field, right? And what is the direction of the force acting on this? So the force that will act on the electron, let us suppose at any instant of time, the electron is here. So the current flowing, you curve your fingers in the direction of current, right? And then it goes down. So the electrons are moving in this direction. So here if you consider any point, for example this point, here if you see, all your fingers will come towards this direction of current, then it will get folded in the downward direction, right? So your thumb will point in this direction. So that means the direction of the magnetic force experienced by the electron would be somewhat like this. Similarly, here in this case, when the current is flowing in this direction, in that case your fingers will fold in that direction at any point. Say, let us consider this point. So the direction of force by right hand rule would come out to be somewhat like this. So what do we observe? We observe that the direction of force in this case is outward, radially outward. Whereas in this case, the direction of force is towards the center. Now, what was the direction of magnetic moment? The direction of magnetic moment in this case, since the electron was moving in this direction, so the current flow was in this direction, so this direction is the current flow. So magnetic moment was acting in this direction, and in this direction, in this case, the magnetic moment was acting in the opposite direction, right? Now, because of this force, how will this affect the magnetic moment? Now, what do we see? In the first case, now we talk about in presence of magnetic field. In presence of magnetic field, this is my first electron and this is my second electron. So what is happening? For the first electron, the magnetic force acts in the outward direction, right? That means it is acting in the outward direction, means it is acting opposite to the direction of centripetal force. So that means it is reducing the centripetal force. So because of this F, the centripetal force decreases. So it is decreasing the centripetal force. Now if the centripetal force is getting decreased, that means the velocity is also getting decreased, right? So velocity is getting decreased, and as a result, the magnetic moment is also getting decreased. Now when the magnetic moment is getting decreased, let us suppose that the magnetic moment gets decreased by some small value delta m. So now the new magnetic moment becomes, earlier it was m, so now it becomes m minus delta m, right? So let me say now this magnetic moment becomes m minus delta m. Now what happens in the second scenario? In the second scenario, this F acts inwards, right? That means it acts in the direction of centripetal force. So that means the centripetal force increases because of this inward force F. As a result, the velocity also increases, and as a result of this, magnetic moment also increases by some small value delta m. So in this case, this m increases by a small value delta m. So now these two electrons are not two different scenarios. They are part of one atom, because we have assumed that one atom is made up of two electrons, one moving in one direction, the other moving in the opposite direction. So what is happening to the entire atom? As a result, vector addition of what happens to the net magnetic moment of the atom? As a result, the net magnetic moment of atom, what happens? The net magnetic moment is changed by 2 into delta m by vector addition, right? Because this magnetic moment is a vector quantity. So when you vectorially add these two magnetic moments, you see an induced magnetic moment of 2 delta m, right? So this is known as induced dipole moment. So what did we observe? The main observation was that by application of an external magnetic field, the net magnetic moment of the atom increased by 2 delta m. So earlier, what was the net magnetic moment of the atom when there was no magnetic field? It was 0. But now a non-zero magnetic moment is induced due to the application of magnetic field, right? So that means in presence of magnetic field, induced magnetic moment of each atom is 2 into delta m, right? So now magnetic moment induced means the atom got magnetized, right? So that means a diamagnetic substance. Now you understand the behavior which we studied there. There we studied that in a diamagnetic substance, the net magnetic moment is 0 as long as we do not apply any external field. So why is that so? Now you understood, because the orbital magnetic moment and the spin magnetic moment of each atom cancel out. As a result, the net magnetic moment is 0. When magnetic field is applied, in that case, some magnetic moment is induced, right? But in the direction opposite to the direction of magnetic field. So now here you can see that direction thing also. You see here the magnetic moment is m minus delta m. And what is the magnetic moment here? It is m plus delta m. So how did we get this 2 delta m? It is nothing but which magnetic moment is bigger? M plus delta m is bigger than m minus delta m, right? Therefore, vectorial addition will give m plus delta m minus m minus delta m. So what will you get? You will get it as 2 delta m. So from here you get this 2 delta m, right? This is about magnitude. And what about the direction? In case of direction, out of these two, whichever is greater, that will dominate. So which is greater? M plus delta m is greater. That means the direction will be along m plus delta m. Now the direction of m plus delta m is opposite to the direction of the applied magnetic field. So that is what we studied there while we were discussing the behavior of diamagnetic materials, that when an external field is applied, then a magnetic moment is induced in the atom. There is a net magnetic moment that is induced, and it is induced in a direction opposite to the direction of the magnetic field. So this theory explained that how a net magnetic moment is induced and how it is induced in a direction opposite to the applied magnetic field, right? So I hope that it is clear to you now, the electron theory of diamagnetism. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.